So we're recording it now, and I want to welcome everybody to our second and final Tavern Talk.
Hell yeah.
Final.
This is great. Oh no, what's happening?
So for anybody that's just tuning in right now, what we have here, what you're looking at right now is where we will start in the trailer. Stuff has obviously been changed. There's going to be a path where the temple is. That's going to go off. But the caravan, the stream, and everything, that's what everybody's going to experience, see in the trailer. And that's kind of why I wanted to build up something. We had our first joke, Tavern Talk, and I wanted to make something, we all wanted something where everybody could kind of see, a little bit more realistically what to expect. This still isn't the engine for the game. This is something that I just kind of piecemealed together. The climbing's about what you'll experience in the game. The haptics, there's going to be haptics. If you're near a ladder, you can run your hand up and down the rungs, and you'll feel your hand pass through each one. And so, partially what we're going to do, and I know a few people have already found the palm tree, if you go over near the palm tree, and you stand really close to it, you're going to hear like a little tingling sound, kind of like change being jingled or keys being jingled. So the idea is that out in the world when you're playing, and I'm sure everybody's familiar with the Narn route from, the Elder Scrolls. So every now and then you'll be walking through the world and you'll hear this little jingly, tingly kind of sound, but it's going to let you know that there's a climbable object nearby. You won't see what it is, but if you get your hand there, you're going to feel that vibration. It's going to let you know that there's a secret that you can climb to. It's going to be hidden all over the world, and we're going to have that's one of the climbing features for the game. It's going to help you find hidden dungeons, hidden treasures, all the hidden stuff. It's going to utilize things like that. Some of it's going to be big, caverns, and you can tell I'm supposed to go there. Some of it's going to be little hidden things that have a little, tingaroo kind of thing to let you know where to go. We don't want it to be really easy to find it. We want it to be kind of like a surprise. Hey, what's that noise kind of a thing. But it's not going to be super hard. It's just, it's not like a main story game element. It's just one of the little side things. So we want it to be, a nice little hidden surprise.
Yeah, something for people to search for while you're exploring.
Potentially, let's say you go further on, and if there's a certain stat/skill that could influence maybe the range on that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I could see doing something like that. That's something that we'd have to work out later on. And we wouldn't really know exactly how far you could extend it out, but I could totally see having something that could help influence that in some way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe some sort of rangefinder ability or something like that.
Yeah, expect to see stuff in the future that'll.
Okay. Now, on to the thing with climbing. Are you going to have it to where you can hold on to something and, let's say if something's attacking you, you can swing on it with the other hand?
Yeah, I mean, you can totally imagine being Tarzan with a sword, basically.
I was thinking more along the lines of climbing palm trees, Pirates of the Caribbean style,
or that
sword fighting while you're climbing.
What's wrong with how about climbing palm trees, Muppets Treasure Island style?
This is so sketchy. I'm halfway across the tree now, and it's kind of terrifying.
You guys, I can't wait for you guys to see. The trailer's gonna have like this. This is all. I mean, trust me. We're creating stuff that's gonna give you guys vertigo.
Yeah. Are you gonna have it so that your hands go through everything, or is it gonna be stop at objects a bit like?
I just don't. We weren't worrying with interactable objects this time around. It's just the climbing itself.
Yeah.
Really, just because I wanted everybody to experience the climbing, I didn't really want to muddy the water with anything else.
No, damn it.
By the way,
here we go. I'm going for the tree. I hope I don't fall because as the dev.
We're literally talking about the Tarzan tree, right?
yeah. I don't go over it either. I don't go.
I'm doing it.
Art, did you hide anything in this?
I feel like I'm gonna hit a wall.
Yeah.
I forgot to hide something, but I'm gonna say I hid something, and everybody has to find it now.
It's just really.
Oh no! Hey, no!
I made it to the end.
Climb
my
to the
first
top
try.
of climb to the top of something, and you'll probably find a stick man on the wall. That's what.
Maybe you actually might,
Oh my god.
or you
Hey,
won't.
this place looks
The
nice.
stick man was inside of us this whole time.
We'll have you guys climbing around all day trying to find what's not actually there.
That's fine. I mean, I can fully sit in there for 3 hours if I can launch it.
I mean,
It's
I'll be
like,
honest,
yeah,
like, this little demo, like, I mean, we've spent so much time ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if this has been said or not, but all the sound effects that are in this are Justin.
Yeah.
The water,
Yes.
the breeze, everything is Justin.
Yeah, I wanted to
Yeah,
ask about
I
that.
I
We didn't
traveled
have to
to
go
New
to pre-sound
Zealand.
for anything.
I actually recorded this in New Zealand and Outback Australia. So these are all sounds that I recorded myself.
Oh, that's amazing.
awesome.
This is going to start
Yeah.
this fan theory about Ilysia actually being like Australia in 1,000 years or something.
Right.
Wait,
Water-
so
so
would that
water looks
explain
great.
why there's all these dangerous creatures everywhere?
We just really don't want to show like the actual character stuff yet. You'll see the characters in the trailer, right? And then we'll have a tavern talk afterwards, like not directly after the trailer, but we'll do a tavern talk after everything's been released and after everything settles down, and we'll kind of go over everything that's happened through the Kickstarter.
A bit of a serious question, but I was just wondering, have you guys decided what order you're going to release the the different platforms?
Oh no, not yet.
Like-
I mean, because everything's kind of being worked on at the same time. The easiest platform to launch for is PC, right? Like that's gonna be the easiest one. But like, it doesn't mean it's the first one. So okay, so here's something I can. We're kind of in a place right now where there's a lot of stuff like as everybody knows, we've been really silent recently, and it's just because like a lot's been happening, but we've had to sign so many NDAs that we can't talk about too much stuff, So it's like a lot of big stuff. So what I can say is this. We've had 3 companies now reach out to us for partnership deals, marketing deals, and publishing deals. Because this happened after the last Tavern Talks.
Nice.
They reached out to us, completely without us looking into it or anything. 1 or 2 of these companies are big into PSVR. So their big thing is like, we want to get you guys like, in GameStop, in stores with physical copies, with, displays in the store and everything. So like, that's awesome for us, right? Like, because we've always kind of wanted.
Copy just to have something.
Yeah, exactly.
Will the in-game item be the real-life item just be a copy of the first Tavern Talk, like Sunflower or the Sun, just like a hand-painted painting of it? Or
Oh, okay, yeah. So actually, I do want to go over that really quick. So I was going to put the Tavern Talk weapons right now. It's 2 swords. The gold tier is going to be the hand-drawn sword, not the red one, but the first hand-drawn sword from the first Tavern Talk. So that's going to be one of the gold tier items.
That's
and
amazing.
the other one, we've got another nice release sword. I'll get those put up. I think tomorrow I can get them put up tomorrow afternoon for everybody. I'll get March put up too. Okay, so February, you guys will get the Sun Shield and the hand-drawn sword. We'll do that for February's items. And then next month, maybe we finally give you guys a mount, maybe?
Shield and sword, would that be like a skin over your sword with stats? Or like...
Yeah, so the idea is it's like most of this, like this stuff's going to be all transmog stuff, right? So like, no matter what level you're at, no matter what, class you decide to go with, what items you're using, you can transmog them over. We just don't want to give anything that has like levels built into it already and give, because we are going to have PvP. We don't want to give anybody an advantage over anybody else,
In the game, am I gonna have like a physical body,
Yes.
that I can see?
Yeah. We just haven't done it for these yet because we're just keeping that all special and a surprise for everybody.
Is there gonna be like proximity voice chat?
Yes.
And like PvP, world PvP?
Yeah, there is.
And are there going to be dedicated servers for like people who don't want to do that?
Well, it's opt-in PvP.
Oh, opt-in? All right.
Yeah.
That's
So for us, loaded areas are just dungeons. So when you go into a dungeon, there's not going to be any more loading into anything else. And the reason we're doing dungeons as loaded areas is so that we can have different gameplay mechanics in it that would work differently in the world. In the normal world, not dying.
Maybe. Not dying.
Right now, there's no XP bonus or anything like that. I mean,
Really just the idea is it makes the game easier, right? You team up with a bunch of people and you're able to, take down a bigger boss easier.
Will there be a sneak mechanic?
a sneak mechanic? I can neither confirm nor deny, but
Well, okay, so that's something else too. So basically, we're trying not to say too much before the Kickstarter because the Kickstarter, everything's going to be sold, right? Everybody's going to know everything once we launch that.
Right.
Our gameplay trailer is not only going to show a lot, but we're also going to have a video of Xander and I just kind of showing off some of the stuff that we've been working on for the past. I mean, once again, we've been real quiet because we've just been I'll put it this way. We started with the basic game that we knew we wanted, and now we have so much more than we thought we were going to be able to give you guys at launch.
What we're in right now playing, is this kind of like how the game will look? Or will it look
Yes, this is pretty close. There are still some visual things that are being changed up and reworked, but it's pretty close.
Sure, like ETA on the gameplay trailer release.
Still aiming for the end of March.
Is that when you are planning to start the Kickstarter as well around that?
Yeah.
Is it going to be similar between Link and Quest? Because I bought the Quest because there was going to be Oculus Link, so I could kind of have both the Rift and Quest.
What we're doing is we're making sure that graphics are, whatever the headset asks you to be. Oculus says what, 75 for the Quest and the Rift S?
Something like that.
I think so.
We're
So it's
trying to
basically
keep graphics similar between all of them, which is what influenced a lot of the style and everything. I mean, 'cause
Yeah.
we've gone through many different iterations. Keep in mind, Quest is at this point like a 3-year-old mobile phone processor, so there is going to be like draw distance limitations.
Will we be able to adjust the graphic settings on the Quest? Because a lot of games on Quest don't allow you to pick and choose if you want it to run shittier but better, or vice versa. Run better.
I mean, I could. I'm doing it for the PC anyway, so it's like less foliage or something with higher draw levels. I can set that up.
Yeah, we could do that. Like, let people choose if they want a farther draw distance and less detail. Like, yeah, we could probably do something like that.
Can you tell us about like how the stat system will work at all?
Xander?
Gear-driven stats, and then you'll get experience towards different abilities.
Unique items, or rare, really rare.
Like game-changing items?
It would be a terrible MMO if you didn't have that.
Yes.
But not like WoW, how they did it in Legion, where everybody gets a Doom Hammer,
No.
Well, I don't think anybody liked Legion, so...
Right.
I enjoyed Legion except for that part.
Okay,
Right.
I love Mythic Plus and Legion, which sort of leads me into, is there going to be varying difficulty for like instanced content?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus
Like,
was a great idea, let me
Like
just say.
shard dungeons and
If you
stuff.
guys had something like that, that'd be great.
Yeah. We like that too.
The way the area looks, like the way it's like very much like this old temple, like in this woods with the caravan, like this is how you'll arrive in a dungeon, right?
So dungeons are like part of the main world, like you travel to them?
It's all, there's different ways to get to them. One of the ways you can get there is like choosing something, having something in your caravan that you say go there, or you just choose it and there's like a little event thing happens and then you're in the caravan and it takes you there, something like that. But it will be a load scene. So that's kind of the idea, is like the caravan could help, like, you enter the caravan, it loads, and then it loads to taking you to the dungeon or something. So the dungeons are massive.
I was just wondering about the world outside of the dungeons, actually.
But most of it's open world. Like, you explore and find the portals.
The world itself is 12K squared. I don't know if we've said that already.
When the final build of the game comes in, is it going to be mostly set into like what it is, or y'all going to add dungeons maybe later on?
Well, so like part of the idea about making the world so big is that we can add on to it later, we can expand, we can change stuff. We basically have like a 5-year plan for Ilysia, right? And we have like so much laid out. Like, so Xander, do you care if I tell a little bit about the backstory to the game?
No, I mean, I think if you guys want to hear about
yeah, if you guys are interested at all, kind of like some of the lead up.
Yep.
Do it.
So with Ilysia, there's 2 worlds, right? There's Lagina and there's Ilysia. Like, Lagina and Ilysia are like sister worlds. Lagina is where the humans originated from. Ilysia is the world where you have like orcs and elves and all the other races, right? So the humans learned how to like twist magic to like create machinery and like, just basically they sucked all the mana from their planet. They killed all their gods. They so what happened is, like, after running through all their resources, they open this they make this massive portal that leads into Ilysia. Humans come to Ilysia, they start this massive war. They start so the worlds, Lagina and Ilysia, both have elder gods, right? These gods that are gods, like you have elder gods, you have lesser gods. Lesser gods, in fact, you're going to see a lesser god in the trailer. So that's kind of a thing right there for you. So like, when you see like lesser gods are going to be everywhere in the world, gods are going to be in the world, gods are also going to be in the dungeons. Like, you're going to have different experiences with them in this game. You're going to be fighting them. These things are massive. These things are going to be very intimidating. Humans open a portal in Lagina. The way they do this is they slaughter a god over this portal to open this massive portal. So basically, everything the humans do is based on forcing magic and mana and life force from the gods and from the planets to make their machinery, their magic,
we're the
everything.
bad guys.
Works, right? So that's how humans come to Ilysia. Now, what happens is that when they come to this area in Ilysia, because Ilysia is the world. Ilysia is not just the map that you'll see when you first join the game, right? These areas are going to have names and everything, and just stuff we're not giving out yet because it is part of the story, like the game story, and there's stuff that needs to be discovered. But this is all going to be known, right? Humans come to Ilysia. The first thing that they discover is the first thing they do is they lay waste to the forest that they come to. They start building siege engines. They bring some of the gods through with them. They use these gods to go to war with all these. So basically, like, what happens is there's a huge war.
There's a redeeming factor for the humans, then. Why would I want to play as a human if they're just...
So here's the thing. This is the thing. Ilysia, the game Ilysia, is about the redemption of the human race, right? What happens is that the humans cause all this death and destruction. And this isn't the only race you can play as. This is just the story that we have so far. So the humans cause all this death and destruction, this huge war. And as they're being pushed back through their portal, the Legianans close the portal down, locking these humans on this side of the world. The game takes place 600 years later when the barrier around the humans' enclosure is finally lowered to let them out into the world to be trusted again. And now what you have to do is you have to go and the humans, part of the quest lines are going to be cleaning the corruption from the world, destroying some of the war machines that were left behind by the humans that have still been ravaging the world. That's all, like, a lot of the story is going to be humans atoning for what they've done.
I think there's a lot of allegory to real life stuff in that. You know?
Yeah. And that's what it is. That's a lot of what that is just trying to use a lot of, pulling from, like, okay, so, like, one of the things that made Game of Thrones amazing was that it was basically War of the Roses, right? So, like, a lot of what we're looking at is, like, the invasion of settlers into Native America or into North America, South America, Africa.
Australia.
A lot of that is what we're kind of Australia. Yeah, exactly.
Leave Australia out of this.
Again, this is like 600 years later, right? So, like, it's kind of like old history. But what you have is races that have never seen a human because the barrier was put up to keep them from leaving this area.
You have to roll a human at the beginning, or do you get
No.
a couple?
No.
So do different races start in different areas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once again, terrible MMO if we didn't do that.
Obviously, the different races would start in different areas because, different starting ideas, but do the stories change depending on which race you play as? Like, do you have to do a certain quest feeling a certain way towards humans?
So they are going to converge at a point, but once again, without going into too much detail because we don't want to ruin anything, there's a reason why. And you might be able to parse it out knowing what you already know now, right?
What would you think on a certain date for, like, the start of, like, the alpha?
I can say this, like a month and a half ago, I could have said alpha will be like May or June. But now with everything we're doing, some stuff's getting, we've got a lot we're working on now, and a lot we're trying to implement now. And the way we approach the game design, the way we approach building this game, is we come up with a little thing that we want to add to the game, and we make sure that it's as good as we can get it before we add it, right? Like that's how we're treating everything. Yeah. So I can't really give a good idea. Like, I mean, just soon TM basically. Like,
and really, we want to get the game out. This is not a hobby for us. You know what I mean?
You could say one thing that's like a detriment to us is the fact that we're perfectionists to a point.
Yeah.
Like we really don't want to. Yeah, except for Tavern Talks. Do not judge us based on Tavern Talks.
Do you know how long the Kickstarter is planned to run for?
30 days.
Are y'all gonna try to do like events in game for like holidays and stuff?
Oh yeah, dude. Like we were even talking about like how fun it would be if one of us was Santa Claus giving out gifts in a tavern. And everybody was like, "Oh, so and so Dev is over in this tavern giving out specialty weapons. Hurry before he leaves or something." The thing with fighting in VR is, it needs to be like fighting in real life. For me, anyway, when it comes to PvP, and this isn't anything set in stone. To me, like it should only be like 3 to 4 hits at most to kill somebody if you can land a hit correctly, right? Like if you can hit somebody in the head, why should you have to hit them in the head 20 times? I mean, if you can hit them in the head and they have no armor, I mean, that's a fatal blow in real life. It should be a fatal blow in VR.
How extensive is character customization going to be?
It started out with like kind of like the world being the limit, and then it just kind of got unrealistic. I don't know, man. Yeah, like you're definitely going to be able to like change a little bit of stuff. I'm trying to at least do more like facial stuff so everybody can kind of look like them. So the character creation is kind of tied in with our character system. There's a balance point because like Oculus Quest has a 4 gig limit. Played the new like Orbis Reborn. I haven't played a lot, but I noticed that they added like at least like some simple sliders and stuff. And I thought, that's pretty good. That should kind of be like a minimum standard, I think. And then we're trying to keep the gear kind of unisex and everything kind of open. So no, the reason why this game is taking so long is because we're doing full body IK.
So
one question is like not easy.
Like literally, that has taken the longest over anything else.
But will there be different characteristics that each race has over another one? Like, say, the elves have more magic.
Yeah. There'll be advantages and disadvantages to each race.
That's very cool.
Just trying to keep it pretty realistic for like a normal MMO stuff. Because so races to me is just a given. Like you have to have it so that they're different in some way besides look. Otherwise, there's really no point in even having it.
Sub games to actually play like cards or something.
Oh yeah, dude! I think you guys are gonna like what we show for that.
I wanted to expand on the question about difficulty modes for raids and stuff.
And I want you not to.
Are they just going to be increased in health, just meat bags, or are we actually going to have
No, that's boring. That's so boring. That is so boring.
Telegraph mechanics in VR where there's like a spot on the ground where that lights up, Those are terrible.
Consider that when designing boss fights, and so it's going to be a lot easier to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be visual, but it's going to be very easy to see. Like you're not going to have to like
I
look
also
directly
hate,
down.
especially in VR, like looking down at your feet to see your actual position, because it's a lot harder than like a third-person game where you can actually control your character and see exactly what you're at. So yeah, I completely agree, and I have to take that into consideration. So like an easy solution, for instance, is more like a cone in front of you instead of just a circle on the ground.
Yeah.
So there's a physical barrier that you see.
Is there gonna be the ability for like add-ons in this game?
We haven't even given that any thought, but if we ever did, it would definitely be further down the line. Like a lot of the stuff you guys have talked about with us since the last Tavern Talks, like it's actually influenced the direction of the game right now. So like if there's ever a time where you guys like, hey, like this is trash, we're not just going to be like, no, it's not because we made it. We'll be like, okay, well, let's go back and look at it because obviously people aren't liking it and we'll change it, our future is based on everybody enjoying the game. So we have to, keep that mentality through all this process. There's a lot of different ways you're going to be doing magic in this game. We've come up with some
currently we have about 3 different ways to do magic. They may end up getting condensed down, but yeah, I like the way Orbis does it. I think I have a little bit better solution. Maybe we'll see how it actually works out as far as consistently casting something this round.
Is there going to be the ability to be a magician and be any of the different classes, like healer, support, tank, or is it just going to be if you're a magic user, you have to be a certain type?
It's going to be kind of an open system, and you're going to be able to mix and match different things to do different types of builds that you want. I mean, everything is still kind of revolving around DPS, healer, and tank. As far as like all of the official build outs that we have, it's based around the Trinity, and then you can mix and match based off that.
Go ahead. Microtransactions, right? What's the deal with that?
Okay, so there's no pay to win, but we are going to have an in-game store with cosmetic items. No loot boxes.
We're going to have some of us, which have been playing for a long time, so we're going to have like really meaty and stuff, but we're going to have newbies starting the game all the time. So how are we going to make it so that the newbies and the veterans can actually play together?
This is part of the thing where y'all's feedback comes in handy. If we can't think of a good way to help keep it fresh for you guys, maybe you can.
How will loot be reset? Like
the loot that I'm working on right now, and it'll still need testing. It started out as just instance based, but what I really like is the ability to loot something and then leave what you don't want for the rest of the party, or just anybody to come up and grab it. So like a loot rule system.
I mean, I'm sure you guys have raided in WoW, and you know how the loot works in that, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like you could have different loot systems, and then like have the party leader activate what kind of loot system they want, like need before greed.
Oh yeah, round robin. Yeah, exactly.
Round robin.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had in mind. It's just
that works really well. And
I mean, really,
it kind of decreases the amount of arguments that you have.
But this is also, this is also what alpha and beta is going to be for too. Is because it could be in the end that we decide that there is one perfect system that works for everything, and then we never have to worry about it outside of that. Xander, we were talking about making an Owen Wilson gun, right? Where it just went pow, pow,
Wow.
pow, pow.
That'd be pretty cool.
You have like a really crappy bowl haircut. Pow.
Dude, I want a bowl cut.
I cannot wait till we can get an office in town and have actual internet, so we never have to deal with this
Oh
again.
yeah, that's gonna be cool.
It's going to be amazing. We already joking, but
We're not
I mean,
an indie
honestly,
company
like,
that has that's actually like a studio. We're just
we are not like the indie company. It's like,
No
man,
Man's Sky devs.
you know, we've got like, you know, we're indie in the sense that we only have $100,000 to work with. I think our business account right now is like overdrawn. We are super indie.
But it's pretty, you know, it's pretty indie AF.
All right, I'm gonna go. Peace out.
You have a good one, dude.
Team 21 and everyone
Take it easy,
else.
guys.
Later.
Take it easy.